Hey everybody, this video is going to kind of touch on some of the shapes and different things that I use when I'm just doing basic anatomy. And I'm going to first kind of break it down into different parts of the body, and then maybe I'll try and put a figure together. So we'll see if that works. Alright, so first I'm going to start with the upper body. I'm going to start with the head. And of course you guys saw that in my other videos with the faces, that I start with a circle when I'm doing the head and how I put that together. Then I'm going to kind of start the neck in here. Sometimes I kind of use a circle at the bottom to kind of establish like the shape of the neck. So you can kind of see that area. And then this upside down triangle right here will kind of help me drop the chest in where I'm going to put the chest in. So here's like the center line of where the chest is going to go. And these lines right here would be the collarbones that end up being the top of it, and here's the traps. They're going to connect to the shoulders right there. So now I'm going to start for the chest, and this is kind of a figure. It's kind of turned to like almost a 3/4 view. So you're going to start the chest out here, and it's going to kind of almost make like a small W shape. That might help to explain it. And then here, if it's going to keep on going like this, it's going to connect to the shoulder. So I'm going to go ahead and put this shoulder in here so you can see that the shoulder's there. But this line that I use, I'm going to continue to bring it down here for the rest of the midsection. I'm going to go ahead and put that other shoulder on here and just use 2 circles for the shoulders. And now I'm going to start with the rib cage, where the rib cage is. And that's gonna kind of just, you can feel your own rib cage to see how it kind of comes to like an arch in the front like this, but it kind of covers your back. So it's gonna it's gonna connect up here, and I'm going to go ahead and put this line in here so you can see it, even though the shoulder is going to be covering it. So this just kind of helps when you're sketching to kind of build the pieces, and so you know where everything is, even if you can't see it. It kind of helps to see you putting the form together. Alright, so I'm just going to bring down the sides on each side of the chest now, and it's going to kind of come down to the hip right here. So I'm going to put these circles here kind of for where the hip is. And then I'm going to kind of come down here to do the rest of that. That's where the crotch or the groin area would be. And so this is like the chest and the midsection area. This is how I would do that. Maybe put in some muscles here. Forget what they're called, like the serrated muscles or something like that. But anyway, if you're going to put in a little bit more definition, maybe for the midsection, you could kind of put the shapes in like this. This is what I would do if I was doing that. And of course, like this center line, when you're inking and finishing off, you don't have to keep that in there. I just use it to line everything up, and you can erase it or whatever, however you plan on doing it. But this is just kind of to show you how everything lines up. Okay, so next, I think I'm going to move on to the arms. So I'm going to just turn the paper a little bit, and I'm going to start with the arms right here and go into a little more detail. So I'm going to start with the shoulder right here. And then next to the shoulder, you've got the biceps and the tricep part, the top part of the arm. So I'm really just doing a cylinder right now from the shoulder down to here, and then your elbow. It's gonna be like right there. So I'm not going to flex this arm or anything. I'm just gonna have it drop straight down. Well, so here in the forearm, you're gonna kind of have it come out right here, and also on the inside it's going to make kind of like the same shape. So really your forearm's coming like this. You've got these 2 points right here, and then it's just going to come down to the wrist. The wrist is going to be right here, and for the hand, I would generally start with just like a square maybe, and like we're gonna make this hand a fist because I'm at the bottom of the page and I've run out of space. But so I'm gonna have the thumb right here. The thumb's kind of coming across like this. You can kind of see how if I'm turning it like this, you can kind of see the thumb a little bit coming to the finger. and it's going to come in the front on top of the fingers. So here's the first knuckle, and second, third, fourth, and you're just going to have the fingers kind of like that. And the further you get away from this point right here, where you can kind of see the front of both of these, they're going to kind of get smaller because they're being more hidden by the rest of them. So that's how I would do the arm. And if you're going to go into more detail later on, just the basic shape of the arm like this, you're going to have the bicep. The bicep is going to it's going to have like two lines to a point like this, and then like that to the top of the forearm. So this point over here is going to be lower than where you're going to put the point for the tricep, because it's kind of the same thing, except for the tricep, you're going to come out, and then I would come in for this part right here. And then there's the elbow right there. But those are just kind of some basic things. And you can get into more detail with the muscles and everything if you look at it more and you want to put in more detail, but I kind of keep it simple. I don't usually do too much. That's just because of the style that I draw in. But if you want to get a better idea of like how the muscles look and everything, you could Google like bodybuilding images and search for the thing you're looking for. Like if you're looking for the arms or the legs or whatever, and it's really helpful to look at stuff like that because they're going to have like super very developed muscles, and it kind of makes them easier to see when you're trying to figure out the different pieces. All right, so now I'm going to move to the legs. So before I just go straight to the legs, I'm going to kind of put the hips in there again, like I had it on the other page, and just kind of redraw that part so you can kind of see how I would draw the legs. And once again, I have like a really cartoony animated style, so it's not going to be like 100% realistic to the anatomy, but it's going to stick close to it. So I'm going to draw this leg in, and I'm going to have it kind of sticking out this way. And then for this one, it's going to be more of a front view. But I'm going to come down to the knee on both of these. So you're going to kind of come out to a point right here. Again, you're going to have like this and like this, a lot like the other muscles for the arm. And then this is kind of just a curved line down to where the knee is going to come in. And then for this, it's the same thing. It's a line like this from this point down to this one back where the knee is. And this is kind of more of just like one long arching shape. All right, so now I'm going to put this line in that's going to show where the shin would be. And it's going to help me set up where I'm going to drop the foot in for this. And because of the way that the leg is turned, you can't really see this outside muscle too much, so I'm not going to put too much of it in. But I'm going to put the calf muscle in there. And then kind of curve into the bottom of the foot, and the ankle will be right here. I just put it in there a little bit so you can kind of see it. But really it should be lower on this side and higher on this side. Okay, and down here, I'm going to come down and put the shin where I'm going to put it here to come down to the foot. I'm going to go ahead and put the foot in here to help me show where the leg muscles are going to end up. I'm going to start with the inside of the calf. And I'm drawing this point here to show that the inside part of the muscle, the point's going to be much higher than on the outside. Just kind of shows you how to draw the different line strokes for that part of the muscle. And I'm going to draw these arrows in here to show the direction of it. And now we're going to throw the knees in there, and then that's basically how I do the basic shapes of the anatomy.